How to Turn Crises into Opportunities for Growth. Entrepreneurs and Businessmen Series. The inspiring story, the turning point. It was a cold morning. The wind bit his face. The clock read 5:30 a.m. and that young entrepreneur sat alone in his car, parked in front of his small business. The lights were off. The street was silent, and the weight of reality was pounding on his chest. Overdue bills, accumulated debts, clients who had disappeared like smoke. Everything he had built in recent years seemed to crumble before his eyes. He leaned his head against the steering wheel and thought, maybe it's time to give up. Maybe everyone is right. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. His friend's words echoed like hammer blows in his mind. You're killing yourself for nothing. Shut it down. Take any job. It's not worth continuing. And for a moment, he almost believed it. Because it's easy to believe in defeat when everything around you seems to prove you can't do it. But suddenly, something inside him flared. An inner voice, louder than all the others, screamed, I won't stop here. I won't let this crisis be the end of my story. This pain won't bury me. It will forge me. At that moment, he understood he had two choices, be a victim of circumstances or be the author of his own turnaround. He took a deep breath, wiped away his tears, and decided to see the same scenario with different eyes. Where there was debt, he saw lessons learned about financial discipline. Where there was failure, he saw experience. Where there was pain, he found fuel. This decision didn't erase the crisis overnight, but it changed what mattered, the way he faced it. Because the truth is this, a crisis is never the end. The end happens when you decide to stop. And he didn't stop. Instead of complaining, he started studying. Instead of hiding, he called the clients he'd lost and asked what he could have done better. Instead of blaming the market, he looked in the mirror and took responsibility. And it was precisely in this process that the turning point occurred. The doors that had been closed began to open because the energy shifted, the attitude changed. And when your mindset changes, the world around you responds. The crisis that seemed like a death sentence became the greatest teacher of his life. This young man, who almost gave up, discovered within himself a strength he would never have known if not for the pain. He discovered that every tear had a purpose. He discovered that every defeat concealed a lesson. And today, when he looks back, he realizes it wasn't the end. It was the beginning. That moment of despair was the turning point. The instant he stopped being just a dreamer and became a winner. Because that's what crises do to the brave. They don't destroy them. They build them. Crisis is a master in disguise. Listen carefully. A crisis didn't come to destroy you. It came to teach you. But most people don't understand this, because when a problem hits, the instinct is to complain, run away, and hide. But let me tell you something. Every crisis is a masked teacher. Only this teacher doesn't arrive in a suit and tie, smiling. He arrives tough, heavy-handed, charging a high price for the lesson. Do you know what the problem is? Many people abandon the school of life before learning the lesson. Failure, pain, rejection come, and instead of asking, what is this trying to teach me? They ask, why is this happening to me? And then they lose the opportunity to grow. Look around. Every winner you admire only got where they are because they went through the fire of crisis. No one builds muscle without resistance. No one develops wisdom without stumbling. A crisis is like that coach who doesn't let you stop after the 10th repetition. He yells, forcing you to go further, because he knows that true growth happens after the pain. You need to change your perspective. Instead of saying it's over, say I'm learning. Instead of thinking I'm a victim, say I'm a student. Because every crisis hands you a key to resilience, a key to discipline, a key to innovation. But only those with the courage to stay in the classroom until the end will grasp the key. Remember, crises are not enemies. They are masters in disguise. And those who understand this emerge stronger, more prepared, and more dangerous. Because now they know that nothing can stop them. Chapter 3. Pain is fuel for change. Listen to me. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Everyone feels pain. The difference is what you do with it. Most, when pain appears, run, hide, complain. But the winners, they take that pain and turn it into fuel. They ignite the engine of change. I know it hurts. I know failure hurts. I know rejection hurts. I know waking up early, working hard, trying, and seeing no results, it hurts. But it's precisely this pain that reveals whether you have the courage to move forward or not. The truth is simple. Pain is a warning. It's telling you that something needs to change. Without pain, you settle. Without pain, you don't move. When everything is comfortable, no one wants to get out of bed. No one wants to take risks. But when the pain hits, when you feel like you can't take it anymore, that's when transformation begins. Think of an athlete. It doesn't grow because it lifts light weight. It grows because it bears the weight that tears your muscles, that burns, that hurts. And this pain isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of growth. Likewise, in life, every tear you shed can become the water that waters your future. Pain is like fire. At first, it seems like it will consume you. But if you know how to use it, it will purify you. It will burn away excuses. It will melt fear. It will transform who you are. Gold only shines after passing through fire. A diamond only exists because it was crushed under pressure. And you, too, will only discover your true strength when pain pushes you beyond your limits. Now pay attention. Most people use pain as an excuse. Oh, I stopped because it hurt too much. Oh, I gave up because it got hard. But the great ones, the unbeatable ones, they say, it was precisely because it hurt that I kept going. Because if it hurts, it's a sign that I'm on the path to change. You need to decide. Either pain will be your prison or it will be your propulsion. It will either paralyze you or it will propel you. When you understand this, it no longer matters how much it hurts. Because every time life hits you, you get back up stronger. Every time something goes wrong, you find a new way to make it work. Look at your life. How many times have you only changed because it hurt too much to stay the same? How many times was pain the push you needed? That's exactly it. Pain is the reminder that you can do more, that you weren't born to live small, that you have something greater within you than what you're experiencing now. So, stop running from pain. Stop complaining about it. Stop victimizing yourself. Embrace the pain. Transform it into energy. Use every disappointment as fuel. Use every fall as a springboard. Use every failure as a map for the next step. Because, in the end, it's not the pain that defeats you. What defeats you is your decision to stop because of it. But if you choose to use this pain as fuel, nothing will stop you. You'll run faster, climb higher, endure longer. And when you get there, when you look back, you'll realize it was pain that brought you here. It wasn't your enemy. It was the gasoline that ignited your change. Innovation is born in adversity. Let me tell you a hard truth. No one changes when they are comfortable. When the money is coming in, when customers are satisfied, when life seems peaceful, you don't feel the need to take risks, to invent, to break out of the routine. But when crisis knocks on the door, when the ground shakes, when the pressure is suffocating, that's when innovation is born. Listen, adversity is the cradle of creativity. It's in difficulty that you discover solutions you would never have seen in times of peace. Because human beings only awaken their full power when they are cornered. Think of the greats in history. Many of them created their greatest projects when they were without resources, without support, with no way out. Limitations became fuel for their imagination. Because crisis forces you to think outside the box, to seek paths you previously ignored. Let me give you an example. A giant company may have millions to invest, but sometimes it becomes stuck in what has always worked. Meanwhile, the small entrepreneur, broke, without capital, without options, needs to be creative or die. And it is precisely there, in this hostile environment, that revolutionary ideas are born. Adversity is not a barrier, it's a laboratory. Every difficulty is an opportunity to test new approaches, to reinvent processes, to create something no one imagined possible. But do you know what the problem is? Most people, when a crisis hits, panic. They become paralyzed. They close their minds. They complain. And they lose the chance to grow. Meanwhile, winners look at the same crisis and say, okay, if the old path is blocked, I'll forge a new one. That's how it works. Either you reinvent yourself, or you're left behind. Listen, innovation isn't born from luxury. It's born from struggle. It's not born from abundance. It's born from necessity. It's not born when you have all the answers, It's born when you only have questions and need to find solutions. And do you know what's most powerful? The innovation you create in a crisis not only solves that moment, but also equips you for the future. Because when the storm passes, you emerge more creative, more adaptable, and better prepared for any new challenge. I'll tell you something you need to engrave in your heart. The crisis is temporary, but the skills you develop during it are permanent. The money you lose can come back. The clients you lost can be won back. But the creativity you awaken in adversity, no one can steal. So, instead of hiding from the crisis, face it. Instead of saying it's over, say it's time to create. Instead of complaining about what you don't have, use what you do have. What's in your hands right now may be exactly what you need to take the next leap. Because innovation isn't about resources. It's about vision. It's about courage. It's about believing there's always a way, even when the map shows nothing. Adversity isn't the end. It's the perfect setting for you to reveal to the world your ability to create. Chapter 5. Mindset decides the outcome. Listen carefully. It's not the crisis that decides your future. It's not the lack of money. It's not the competition. It's not the government. It's not the economy. What decides the outcome is your mindset. Two people can go through the same storm. One looks at the chaos and sees despair. The other looks at the same chaos and sees opportunity. Same crisis, two different destinies. What changed? Mindset. You need to understand this. Your mind is your greatest weapon. Before you can win in the real world, you need to win within yourself. Because if your mind is defeated, no matter what happens outside, you've already lost. But if your mind is strengthened, no matter how intense the storm, you will find a way. I'm not saying it will be easy. There will be pain. There will be setbacks. There will be days when you'll want to throw everything away. But if your mind is prepared, you won't give up. Because the right mindset doesn't see defeat. It sees training. They don't see the end. They see the process. Let me give you an example. When an athlete steps onto the field, the difference isn't just in their physical fitness. It's in their mind. One player may be at the same technical level as another, but if they enter with a defeated mindset, they've already lost before kickoff. The winner enters believing they'll succeed, and that belief changes everything. It changes the effort, the intensity, the outcome. And it's the same in life. The entrepreneur who thrives isn't the one who's never experienced a crisis, but the one who faced it with a warrior's mentality. The student who passes the exam isn't the smartest. It's the one who had the mental discipline to not give up. The entrepreneur who transforms the game isn't the most talented. It's the one who decided to believe when everyone else said it was impossible. Now look within. What has your mindset been like? Have you seen problems as a burden or springboard? Have you let the crisis defeat you, or have you used it as fuel to grow? Understand, the mind is like terrain. If you sow fear, you will reap defeat. If you sow courage, you will reap victory. Mindset is the seed. The result is the harvest. Therefore, you need to protect your mind like you protect a treasure. You need to monitor your thoughts, eliminate limiting beliefs, and nourish yourself with ideas that strengthen you, not voices that paralyze you. Because the battle begins here within, in the silence of your head. And you know what the best news is? You can choose your mindset. It's not fixed. It's not something you're born with. You decide. You can be broken, but still think like a winner. You can be tired, but still believe you will win. In the end, it's not the size of the crisis that matters. It's the strength of your mindset in the face of it. Remember, a winner isn't someone who has never fallen. It's someone who has never let their mind believe they are finished. Chapter 6. Every crisis is a springboard to the next level. Listen carefully. Every crisis carries within it a secret. And the secret is this: it is never the end. It is always the beginning of something greater. But most people don't see it because they are so focused on the pain that they don't see the bridge. Every crisis is a springboard. And what is a springboard? It's something you step on, something that even pushes you down. But precisely because of that, it launches you upward, higher than you could ever reach walking in a straight line. Think with me. Remember the last time you went through something that seemed unbearable? At that moment, you thought it was the end. You believed you couldn't handle it. But look where you are now. You survived. You grew. You are no longer the same person. That crisis prepared you, strengthened you, gave you muscles you wouldn't have had if you had lived only in comfort. Life works like this. Nothing is wasted. Every tear, every sleepless night, every closed door. It's all part of the process that takes you to the next level. But to get there, you need to change the way you view the crisis. The problem is that many people see the crisis as an endpoint. It's over. I lost. There's no way out. But a winner doesn't think that way. A winner looks at it and says, if this happened, it's because I needed this learning. It's because the next level demands a better version of me. And this crisis is here to forge that version. And I'll tell you, the next level never comes cheap. It exacts a price. It demands patience, courage, resilience. But if you have the courage to pay, you will rise. Because a crisis is a school that only the strong have the courage to attend. Look at the eagle, for example. When it senses that its chick needs to learn to fly, it doesn't explain, it doesn't lecture. It simply pushes the chick from the nest. At first, the chick thinks it's going to die. It feels the wind blowing. It feels the ground approaching. It feels fear taking over. But in that moment, in the midst of the crisis, his wings open. He discovers something that was inside him all along. And he flies. That's what crisis does to you. It pushes you. It throws you into scenarios you would never have chosen. But it's in that push that you discover wings you never imagined you had. So, understand, every crisis isn't the end of the road. It's the launch pad. Every fall is preparation for a bigger leap. Every difficulty is a password to a new level. You may even think you've lost. But what you've really gained is vision, experience, strength. And no one can take that away. So, when the next crisis knocks on your door, don't run, don't hide. Look it in the eye and say, thank you, because I know you're here to take me further. I know you won't knock me down. You'll push me. I know you won't bury me. You'll launch me. Because the lives of winners aren't made of easy victories. They are made of crises transformed into stepping stones. Each one is a springboard that makes you higher, stronger, more prepared. So, take a deep breath, look ahead, and understand, the crisis is not your end, it's your beginning. It's not your enemy, it's your bridge. And if you have the courage to cross it, you'll discover that the next level was already reserved for you.